Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the BluScreen podcast for the 25th of October, 2016. My name is Jason, and today I am joined on this second very special episode by Derek. Derek, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
You're doing all right? Not fantastic this time?
I don't know. I had coffee and it's pretty good, but I feel bad.
You feel like bad?
But the coffee's making everything good.
Coffee makes everything good.
Yeah, I love coffee.
Yes, I like pouring, my computer's breaking, I pour coffee on it.
Oh yeah, dude, sometimes I go to the mall and I see coffee and I just have to get its autograph.
You have to get his autograph?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You get many autographs by coffee?
Yeah, there's this one guy named Mr. Bean.
Ooh! Anyway, sorry, enough with the silliness. Why is this a special episode this week?
Basically, there's a video game console by Nintendo.
Wait. Is it a console?
Ah, that is a very good question.
Oh.
So there's this video game console coming out by Nintendo. It's called the Switch.
And tell me, does the Nintendo Switch, we've basically only just seen one trailer at this point. We've just seen, we kind of had it announced that we know what it is. We finally know what the NX was. Tell me, does the Switch turn you on?
Oh, baby. It switches me on like a light switch.
Does it really?
Well, I don't know,
From what you've seen.
Okay.
Actually, wait. Maybe we should go ahead and explain to the people who maybe have been living under a rock.
Okay.
What it is.
So basically, Nintendo made this new device that plays video games.
No way.
Yeah.
That's astounding.
I know, it's amazing. So this video game player has this neat gimmick where your controller can control the game, but you could take a controller and put it on the game and then take your game with you.
Thank God, Nintendo does not have you in marketing. All right, so basically what it is basically like a Wii U gamepad that is not tied to an actual console. So basically it's just a really powerful handheld that you can hook up to your TV and bring it on the go. It also has some detachable side controllers so that you can give one to a friend and you have two players on the go. It basically, you should just go ahead and watch the trailer if you want all those little details of basically what it is in a nutshell.
I hear Super Mario 64 2 is coming out for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Super Mario 64 2?
Yeah.
So, wait, 642? It's 642 and divided by 4? Are they going to Kingdom Hearts numbering system?
Well, I don't know. I think there's actually that many Mario games at this point.
Yeah. Well, there are a fair number of Mario games. But anyways, back to the previous question that I interrupted you on. Does it turn you on? Do you like it? What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I'm excited for a new Nintendo console. I'm always excited for a new Nintendo console. I'm excited for anything that's not Microsoft or Sony. So, because Nintendo actually does new things, and you know what? This is actually a really cool concept. I like the idea that I can finally play Pokemon not only on the go. No, I did not intend that. But
I see what you did there.
Yeah, that was not intended. But I could play Pokemon on the go and play it on the big TV. I've always wanted a Pokemon game on the big screen that wasn't Pokemon Stadium because that game sucked.
Yeah, I've actually I've seen that come up to a lot of people, or a lot of people in the in the aftermath after it was announced. A lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, sweet! I'm getting a Pokemon game on TV."
Yeah,
and
it is exciting.
I think Pokemon is better as a handheld game, but you know what? Sometimes I'm playing a handheld game and I'm like, I would just like to have this on the TV.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're very low poly, models and stuff. There's sometimes I'm like, I don't care. Just up-res it, put it on the TV. I don't even care if you keep the internal resolution the same. I'll take the blocks. I just want to see it on the TV.
Exactly. And you know what? I don't like squinting at a small screen anyways. I actually like sitting down with a TV. I don't really carry around a handheld anyways. I don't have time outside of my house to play games. If I'm outside my house, that means I'm not playing games.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different for me because I do have a family, and there's that war for the TV, right? Some people want to use the TV, they want to watch something, or if they want to play something. That's one of the reasons why I liked the Wii U. I could go ahead and grab the gamepad off, and there was off TV play, but it wasn't compatible with every game.
Yeah. See, with me, I have 10 CRTs still in the basement that's not being used, so I could just hook up 5 TVs if I want to, and have a different game on each screen. And sure, it's not portable, but I mean, I don't have that problem with. So for someone like me who has no TVs with an HDMI port, which will probably be the requirement of this new Nintendo console.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. But yeah, actually, now I think about it, because I'm old school, I guess this device is pretty cool, because I probably end up just using it as a handheld anyways, because I have no TV to play it on.
Hey, that's actually a really good point. You don't even need a TV for this.
That's true.
You get the console experience without needing the TV.
It comes with the TV.
Exactly.
Because I always heard like people before who were like, oh, yeah, when you buy a PC, you gotta get the monitor too. With a PS3, you just connect it to your TV. Like, you have to buy the TV too.
Yeah.
You know, but now that's actually a valid argument.
Yeah, and it's actually, it's interesting too, because I remember Miyamoto actually making a comment a little while back that the thing he liked about like the Wii U or the handhelds, the thing he liked about the handhelds was he knew what kind of screen the players would have. And he could tailor things specifically for that screen. There wasn't a bunch of different factors.
Actually, yes, because even as like working in art and junk like that, I would draw something and colored it. On one monitor, it looks absolutely beautiful. On another monitor, it would look absolute garbage, because like I would work on a monitor where all the colors were really dark, so I thought it was a dark scene, but it ended up being really bright, you know?
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so in a way, if they've got that one screen, they can at least tailor, they can at least target that handheld and make sure things look great on that handheld.
Yeah.
Because
that is fantastic.
Yeah, and from what we don't know exactly what the resolution is going to be on the sorry, no problem. We don't know what the resolution is going to be on the device itself. Right now, it's mostly rumors. Basically, there's a lot of leaks or rumors that talk about it, and these are from the same sources that were right about the Switch being a hybrid console. So, you know, there's a little bit more credibility to some of these rumors now that the handheld might be like targeting a 900p screen.
Yeah,
which is not too bad, and it's only a little bit of, we'll say, upscaling for the TV. Now, that's actually one thing I saw come up in the trailer. It shows him playing Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And then he pulls off the Switch from the dock, and then he walks away with it. And then it shows that, but it seems like the frame rate's a little bit lower. So basically, the frame rate seems a little bit lower.
Yeah.
When it's mobile. But the thing is, those videos in the trailer are superimposed on top of the device.
Yeah.
Because if they're just videotaping the device, it's not going to show like that.
No, not at all.
You're going to have, you know, the screen refresh. It's not going to look as good, so they superimpose it. So that actually is not an indicator of what the performance is going to be like in handheld mode versus at home.
So wait, are you telling me the guy playing the game in the trailer is not actually that good at the game?
Yes.
Nintendo is lying to us?
Oh,
I thought they hired professional gamers for these commercials.
No. Although that is interesting, we'll get into that in a second. But the people they did hire, I did want to talk about that a little bit right after I finish my point here.
Oh, yes.
The frame rate thing. So it's all superimposed. So a lot of people were saying, "Oh crap, it's going to be, you know, weaker in handheld mode. That looks unplayable." We need to remember that is not a representation of what the performance is going to be.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's Nintendo. Like, their quality has always been top notch. I don't think they're ever going to allow something like that to be released.
From what I understand, they actually worked like very close with NVIDIA on this. It's using a custom Tegra chip, which is basically using the same architecture as their GeForce cards.
Oh wow.
They worked very close. In fact, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm not 100% confirmed, but it sounds like NVIDIA actually had a hand in like designing the thing. Nintendo was probably playing off their experience in what NVIDIA has learned with the Shield. Remember?
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
So that, because if you'll notice, like all the other consoles and stuff like that, they're all going ATI.
They're going ATI APUs.
Exactly.
So with an actual dedicated GPU. Oh no, is it? No, it's Tegra's both is.
I think it's both, but yeah, it would have to be. It is kind of both. It is kind of, but it's still. From what I understand, they worked very closely with NVIDIA to make sure that things were, one, very easy to code for, very easy to work with, and you know they could squeeze as much performance out of it as possible. So you've got that you do have that performance in handheld mode. That's pretty much sort of a guarantee. Like I'm seeing the power being maybe a little bit stronger than the Wii U. It's not going to be like leaps and bounds, but at the same time, it's still much better than anything we have in a handheld.
Yeah. And you know what? Considering it's actually NVIDIA on board, I wouldn't be surprised if the thing actually competed with the PS4 or the Xbox One in graphical quality.
It could, because they've got very good low-level support from what I understand. Because NVIDIA was talking about that at it was a press meeting, I believe, when they were discussing it. So that it's been confirmed that they've been working very closely with Nintendo on it.
That's awesome. So that's what Nintendo needs right now too, because everyone's shunning the Wii U already because it's not super graphical.
Yeah. And, like, have you seen the list of all the developers and stuff on board?
No, I have not seen the list yet. Who's on board?
It seems like everybody. They've got. Well, you saw the trailer.
Well, the Wii U, everyone was on board, but then they decided to just. How do I politely say this?
How do you play this? Yes. Yeah. They sort of jumped ship, and that is going to be the tough thing. At the start, they do have the support, but the trailer even went ahead and they showed Skyrim. Bethesda has never been on a Nintendo platform.
Yeah, you're right.
That's kind of an unprecedented difference here. Bethesda is actually on board, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So that's kind of exciting. Actually, we'll dive into, let's say, the supporting real quick. But before we move on from performance, because it seems like that's what we were talking about, I wanted to make one point. How they can have consistent performance. A lot of laptops, they have like a battery saver mode.
Yeah.
Where they dial back, they underclock, and then they can, when they're plugged in, they can go into, use up all the resources. I think that's what's going to happen with the handheld. The handheld's got a smaller screen, maybe a lower resolution. It doesn't need as much power to render at that resolution. Yeah. Because a lot of people are talking about battery life, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking when it plugs into the dock, it recognizes that it's plugged into a power source, and then it can amp it up to display on a larger screen.
I don't think the battery life is going to be amazing at the beginning, though. Because we've seen it with the Nintendo DS, the battery life is pitiful. And even the Wii U controller, a lot of people went with third-party batteries off the bat. So even with the power being lowered, don't expect it to last all day.
No. It's I think I don't think it's unreasonable to expect at least 4 hours out of it, 4 to 5 hours.
Even that, I think, is going to be a bit much, but I might be surprised. It is Nintendo after all.
Yeah, it is a bit much. I think I don't think that's what will happen, but I'm thinking if it's at 4 or 5 hours, nobody has any right to complain.
Yeah.
To have a console experience on the go, for 4 to 5 hours of gameplay is amazing. And if they get into that time frame, nobody should be able to complain about the battery life.
Actually, now I think about it, not even laptops will do that much time for gaming either.
Nope, my laptop dies in an hour, and that's an hour of gaming. If it's a really demanding game, I won't get more than an hour. Yeah. So about I guess there's not really too much more to say about support. There's a lot of people on board, but whether or not they'll stay on board.
That's a big question there. Yeah, that's a big question. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling the greatest today. I'm just going to let everyone know that. But, yeah, my brain's kind of...
No, that's fine. I know seeing this list of developers, and actually it's not just developers, they also showed engines. Because, Epic, they were, when the Wii U was out, they were talking about, Unreal Engine. And they're like, no, we're not putting that on Wii U. And that actually hurt Nintendo a lot, not having the support of... Epic. It wasn't because the Wii U couldn't handle Unreal Engine 4. It's because Epic didn't want to support the Wii U. Epic's on board now with Unreal Engine 4 with the Switch. Unity's on board with that. There's a lot of middleware companies that are totally on board, which is a good sign.
Indeed. I don't want the shovelware nightmare from the previous systems.
Oh, friggin' seriously.
Chicken Shoot? I want to play some Chicken Shoot?
Chicken Shoot? What's this?
Chicken Shoot. You want to play some Counterforce?
I don't know these things.
I bought that game for 88 cents at GameStop. That was too much.
Too much.
All
right, so hopefully we won't get too many Counterforces. So I'm really hoping that there's some third-party support here, but I think what will really sort of determine whether or not it's successful is the account system.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Okay. So when we got the Wii U, when Jason here got the Wii U at Christmas, because that's a cool time to get a Wii U, I made an account on his system, and I got my own save games, whatever. And then my roommate got a Wii U back where I live, and so I made my own account at home. No, wait, sorry. I had to make my own account at home because I couldn't just transfer my account information over because it was locked to my brother's system. So I didn't bother even making an account on my roommate's system because, like, what if I get my own Wii U? Then I can't have my account on my system.
You have to call support and be like, "Hey, yo," and I think you need the serial number and stuff from the other system, so you'd actually have to get me involved and me on the phone just to get the thing transferred over.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's terrible. I hate it.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the real point that that Nintendo, if they have to nail this, because not only that, but Nintendo is very protective, right? They're very anti-piracy. They want to have that copyright protection on their stuff. They're dealing with a handheld now. Yeah. So let's think about this. Like I got this thing and I'm thinking, I've got a family, right? And we're probably all going to want to play on the Switch. But what happens if I want to say bring the Switch with me and that's not at home, right? Yeah. We're obviously going to need to buy more than one, which I've seen some people complain about, but I'm like, listen, you've got to buy a Wii U and a 3DS separately. What's the problem with just buying two Switches? Just because it's the same device, Yeah. They have a problem with it, but I don't see any problem with that. But anyways,
I know I got like 12 Commodore 64s, so
yeah, exactly.
What's the problem?
There you go. Multi-screen, Commodore 64 is multiplayer, LAN parties, all that good stuff. You can play. What games are on there?
For LAN partying?
I meant games in general.
Oh, there's like Space Taxi. That game's pretty awesome.
There you go. LAN Party Space Taxi.
LAN Party Space Taxi. That would be the greatest thing ever. You got like 12 taxis flying around trying not to crash into each other, trying to race to the guy to pick up. Dude, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, we'll make that. Put a pin in that. Make a note of that.
That actually sounds awesome.
But anyways, let's say we eventually need to get more than one. Yeah. Switch. Now, the thing is with a handheld is it typically only has one user.
That is true.
So let's say we have the one Switch, and it's set up more like a console, like the Wii U, and allows us to have multiple users. What happens if, let's say, my kid goes ahead and we get them a Switch? Then,
oh yeah.
Well, now do they? What about the games that we purchase? Or if we purchase digitally, well, now they can't access those either.
That is a very good point.
And basically, like the problem I'm seeing here is, it's being a mobile device, you're a lot more likely to lose it too.
Yeah, I had one concern about the actual controller itself. Like, how it's the two sides that disconnect from the screen? What happens if, like, you lend one side to a friend or something and he loses it because you want to play, like, a two-player game, but then he's, like, an idiot and, I lost it under the couch or down a vent or something.
Well, then you move the couch and you get it back.
I can't move that couch. I'm not high enough level, darn it.
Well, from what I understand, though, I'm speculating at this point, but you should be able to buy, because the side parts, they actually have a name now, eh? Do you know what the name is?
Nope.
They're called Joy-Con.
I had that for the PlayStation.
Yeah?
No, I didn't actually have it, but I think there is a product called Joy-Con already.
Well, anyways, each of the controllers are called Joy-Cons.
Oh, boy.
Joy controllers, I guess, is what they're short for.
But I'm pretty sure that's already a product.
Yeah. Well, you should be able to buy additional Joy-Con. I would think that they would be this generation's Wiimote.
Okay.
That's my guess. If they make it so you can't buy new Joy-Con, then we're gonna have a problem. But
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you can, because think about this. The problem with getting the Wii U gamepad replaced, like you couldn't actually buy one, and if something happened to your gamepad, you had to send it off to Nintendo.
Yeah.
By actually making the controller separate from the screen now, they make it so they can sell the controller parts in stores.
I do like that a lot better.
It's a lot easier to repair and replace.
Well, even your Wii U gamepad, the joystick on it kind of went...
Yeah, I had to go ahead and buy a new stick and replace it myself for like what?
Yourself.
Myself, I'm taking credit. I meant myself as in the sense of, you know, home done repairs, not send it off to Nintendo. My good brother here, Derek, he's the one who did the work for me.
It was pretty good. I had to like undo a couple screws and then put in a joystick.
He was amazing. You should have seen him in action.
I know, it was great. I like broke 12 things.
But anyways, yes, so things are very modular, which means you can also maybe there might be new types of Joy-Con. So if there's a different type of game, think about this. Whoa! Fishing attachment. Oh yes, we're back to the Dreamcast days, man.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, think about it. You got like a fishing reel thing on one side, and you got your screen on the other, and you're like...
That would actually be kind of awesome.
Except I'm not into fishing games, but it would still be awesome.
Yeah.
For those who like fishing games.
Or you could get like a separate fishing controller and like swing it at the small screen and accidentally hit it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
see, that's
I
amazing.
love that.
So
it's good thinking on Nintendo's part.
yeah, so the whole modular thing I think is actually really good because, like I said, from a repairing perspective, from just like a replacement,
yeah,
it makes things a lot easier.
Indeed, like you could just take your broken one, throw it out, and go buy a new one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, talking about the hardware and having to replace things, there's a few things missing from the hardware. Yeah, we'll say most notably here. What about the D-pad? How do you feel about the loss of the D-pad?
Oh, you mean the thing that Nintendo like pioneered to begin with?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I think it sucks. But it's understandable because the whole entire idea of the Switch is that you could take each side of the controller and use it as a two-player thing, right? But there's not enough room on each side for a D-pad. And if one side is exactly the same as the other, they kind of have to cut out a detail to keep it symmetrical.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they have the screen and then the two Joy-Cons, as they're being called.
Hey!
Bless you. The two Joy-Cons, it's like you can take them off the side and then hand one to a friend and you can have like two-player.
Exactly.
Which is awesome because that means that the console is launching with two controllers.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
I'm right.
I think that's the first time a console has ever launched with two controllers.
Is it? Yeah.
I can't think of another instance where you usually have to buy the second controller.
Actually, yeah, I think it just blew my mind.
Whoa.
But yeah, those individual controllers, because they have to keep the symmetry for both players, there is no D-pad. So technically what will operate as the D-pad in a single player game is actually individual buttons. We went back to like the 64, like with the C buttons almost.
Yeah, I guess so. But wait, what? How? Well,
on the Nintendo 64 you had the yellow buttons, right? The C buttons?
Yeah.
And they were all directional. Yeah. So they're yellow buttons. If you actually look at the Nintendo Switch on the left-hand side, instead of where there's the D-pad, there's 4 individual circle buttons.
So it's kind of like pulling a PlayStation kind of thing, where it's kind of like, even though it was actually a D-pad underneath a plastic shelling, it did look like 4 buttons. However, I think diagonal movements aren't going to be very good. Yeah,
because it's while there are separate buttons, with the PlayStation, at least those buttons are grouped close to each other.
They are actually one piece of plastic.
Yeah, and with the Switch, it looks like the buttons, each individual button is a little bit further apart.
Yeah. However, I don't think it'll be too bad of a thing because, like, even the Wonder Swan, there's separate buttons for each direction.
The thing is, though, that they're all close together. If you actually take a look at, imagine taking, let's say your standard controller, your YX BA type thing, right? Now, putting that where the D-pad is and using that for directional movement.
Actually, it is possible because Raiden 3 on the PlayStation 2, it allows you to play as both players on one controller, and you could actually use the second player on the buttons.
Okay.
And it actually works.
Yeah, it's not too uncomfortable for that?
No, not really. Like, once you get used to it, there is a period where you have to get used to it. But once you do, it works almost as well as a D-pad anyways. Not quite as well, but...
Okay. Yeah, and if you absolutely do need a D-pad, they did show in the trailer the Switch Pro controller, which is kind of got like an Xbox 360 or Xbox One, we'll say, configuration. The stick's down low. It's not quite like the Wii U one.
Yeah, I don't really like it that way because I like my having both thumbs in the same position, but I understand why they did that.
Yeah, I think it's because I think a lot of people are used to the Xbox controller, but I don't know, a lot of people are used to the PlayStation controller. I liked Nintendo's idea of having both up on top, but
See, I think Atari had it right with the Jaguar controller, where you had 3 buttons up there and a phone down there.
the phone. I'm gonna phone in my movements.
Oh man,
I remember that. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Iron Soldier, man, you couldn't play that game without the little overlay that told you what each button did. It was a fun game, but that controller just ruined everything that this system tried to do.
And in case we totally went off on a tangent and you lost us there, we're talking about the Atari Jaguar. We're not talking about the Nintendo Switch right at this point.
Yeah. That system's only got one good game. The Switch already has more good games than the Jaguar.
And we've actually had very few official announcements for games. I think there's only been 10? Even Skyrim, which appeared in the trailer, Bethesda is saying is not officially announced for the Switch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. But yet they're allowing what I think that might be a business reason. They're coming out with the remaster version.
Oh.
And I think they don't want to, we'll say, cannibalize their sales or butcher their sales by people going, oh, I'm going to hold off and I'm going to buy it for the Switch or something like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
So,
kind of dirty, but...
Yeah, I think it's either that or something behind the scenes Nintendo has told them, don't say anything yet. Because I guess if they officially announce it, then I don't know. I'm speculating at this point, but it is official that it's not official that Skyrim's coming. But I would like Skyrim on there. It would be nice to have a portable version of an Elder Scrolls game. I'd probably prefer something different.
Yeah, like Morrowind.
Morrowind would be much better, but I'll take it. Yeah. I'll take it.
As awesome as Morrowind is, let's admit it's not. It hasn't aged well enough for the future generation of players.
Yeah. Now we've actually jumped off on the tangent. We were talking about hardware.
Yeah. Were we?
Yeah, we were talking about the D-pad, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm bummed out. I am bummed out, but at the same time, considering the type of games I'll be playing on the. I almost call it the NX, the Switch, anyways.
I know. I've been calling it the NX. And I'm like, oh, that's right. Gotta get it in my head. It's the Switch.
It's still the NX to me, but considering the type of games I play on it, probably like 3D platformers and whatever. I don't feel like we're gonna lose too much with the loss of the D-pad.
Yeah.
Sure, some of the indie games are gonna suffer for it, but if I want to play indie games, I'll probably play it on a PC anyways.
I don't know. Now I don't know because that portability.
That is pretty.
That's a big sell for me. If if I can play it, I could play it on my monitor if I wanted to. I hook up the Switch.
Yeah, that's true.
Boom. I hook it up on my TV. Boom. I bring it on the go. Boom.
I think my problem is I'm old-fashioned. I just don't want to advance forward.
And yet, in a strange kind of way, I feel like the NX, depending on how it's done, of course, could be something for us. We'll say more old-fashioned people.
Maybe.
We'll talk a little bit about that. I'll bring that up a little bit later. I want to finish off with hardware before we move on to the next topic, but I'll bring that up later. Put a note on that, people. I'll be talking about how I feel. It caters a little bit more to our old school people. But I wanted to talk about the controllers. We said you have the 2 controllers, and they made them both identical pretty much, so that you could use them for each person. But I feel like if you actually look at the controller, both the stick and the buttons are very close in the center of the controller.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how that's going to feel for playing games. I feel like it might work as a, hey, I've got a spare controller kind of thing if you don't have enough pro controllers to go around, but.
I guess so. But then again, even the Wii U controller surprised me too. I thought the thing was going to be super uncomfortable, but it actually turned out to be pretty nice on the hands.
Actually, that's true. A lot of people were saying, oh, man, when they saw the gamepad, they're like, oh, man, that's going to be so uncomfortable. And a lot of people, when they got it in their hands, they're like, oh, wow, this is surprisingly comfortable.
Even I prefer it over the Pro Controller.
Really?
Yeah, I actually can't stand the Pro Controller.
Really? I see. I love the Pro Controller. But as a big Xenoblade Chronicles fan, I need the thing for the map. I need the gamepad.
Yeah.
But it's still completely playable. But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that you preferred the gamepad over the Pro Controller.
Actually, even the gamepad, looking down at it, I'm vision impaired. You are too.
Yes, we wear glasses.
We're the vision impaired brothers.
With the vision. There's Nintendo's new game.
I prefer actually just looking down at the small screen in front of me, to be honest.
Yeah.
So wait, what's with all my complaints with handhelds then?
Yeah, what are you? I think your complaints with the handhelds, ironically, were with the D-pads.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Most complaints you've had with like the
the DS
that's right.
Nintendo's D-pads on their handhelds are garbage nowadays.
You don't like them because they're clicky and they're kind of
clicky and hard to press down. And you know what? I changed my mind. We need to do away with the D-pad.
No, I think it should be. I like that it's still an option with the Pro Controller, so I will welcome its addition there. But I'm open to trying new things. Let's see. There's a couple other thing. I noticed that. Like you look at the Wii U gamepad, and they had a camera on the front.
Yeah. And
they had a microphone in it. Yeah. And same thing with the 3DS. Because this is kind of a hybrid, we kind of have to look at the features that are being taken out from the other systems, like both the console and the handheld. And then you look at the 3D. We're not going to be having 3D.
Oh, I don't know. Super Mario 64 2 looks pretty 3D.
We're not going to have like the 3D function and no dual screens.
I'm fine with that.
You're fine with no dual screens?
I'm perfectly fine with that. I always found dual screens to be confusing, to be honest.
Have you ever played a game that actually benefited from dual screens?
No.
No?
No.
No.
No. I mean,
Full stop.
I played a fair number of games, but I always just focused on one screen. I don't know. I just find at that point it's confusing. It's even like when I played, was it Space Puzzle Wobble?
Space Puzzle Bobble.
Space Puzzle Bobble on the DS. Or was it Space Bust Move? I can't remember. I gave it away years ago. If you're familiar with Bust Move, you know, you got a little arrow thing on the bottom, you shoot bubbles up. All the bubbles were on the top screen, and your arrow thing was on the bottom screen. And that whole entire border in the middle just made it extremely confusing as to where your bubbles were going to end up.
Yeah, and I would actually argue that's maybe a poor implementation of a dual screen game. I played Etrian Odyssey on the 3DS. And if you're not familiar with Etrian Odyssey, think of Might and Magic. Okay. It's like a first-person sort of dungeon crawl where you actually need to graph out your own map. So the top screen, you have your game, your first-person RPG thing with your party, and you're going around. And the bottom screen is basically just you have your stylus, and you actually a grid, and you can actually draw your own map. So in a way, it's kind of like, if you ever liked those old games like Might and Magic, where you actually had to break with the graph paper and actually draw your maps of your dungeons, this here is all in a portable format. I open up my 3DS and I'm drawing my map and I'm exploring through the dungeon, and it's portable and it has that same kind of experience. And to me, that was a good implementation, because that's the kind of thing where you can't go to a menu and then, okay, I'm going to look at and start filling in my map. It's actually something where having two screens simultaneously on
actually does
add to the experience. Yeah. So I'm wondering, because Atlas has been, releasing Etrian Odyssey games a lot. Are they going to be just sticking with the 3DS, and then they're going to have to figure something else out when they, once most people have switched over to the Switch?
Speaking of the Switch, I want to use my Wiimote on the screen. Oops.
That was a terrible segue, but okay. So I guess you're bringing up backwards compatibility?
Yeah, backwards compatibility. Like, what's going to happen with all the Wiimotes and Wiimotes and nunchucks? Am I going to be able to, like, connect a nunchuck to the side of the Switch controller and just, like, wave it around at things? Or
I don't think so. I think, we'll say the Wiimote is going to be to the Switch what the NES controller was to the SNES.
Useless.
Exactly.
I see.
That's what I think. Of course, that's speculation, but I don't think that there's going to... they seem to be moving away from they seem to have walked away from backwards compatibility altogether here.
Yeah, with the whole entire cartridge, and which I'm very excited for, might I add, because I think optical discs are getting kind of outdated now.
They are.
Spinning motors and junk like that. That itself is a power drain too.
Yeah.
Even like CDs. Like, why are we still using CDs? Like, people still releasing music albums on them. They're not the greatest quality you could get. You could get better with DVDs even.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I think it's price.
Price too.
It comes down to price. Well, I think most music is actually coming out in an even more inferior format in MP3s. That's a topic for another discussion.
MP3s are terrible.
Yeah,
I can actually hear the difference.
Yeah, I have a good FLAC and a good MP3. I can actually hear it, but I'm not being an audio snob. When you actually have the proper hardware, you can tell the difference. And I'm not saying that MP3s sound like total garbage, but I can tell the difference, and I prefer the FLAC, the lossless.
I like the part of the MP3 where you can't like hear the little details.
Yeah, the compression, there's something lost, but
even my old Walkman has all those sounds still that MP3 players cut out.
Well, yeah, it's analog. It's basically just, it captures everything. There's no compression at all. It's just
analog's awesome.
Yeah, with the hissing and all.
You know what we should do? Oh, we should release the Switch games on tape.
That's right. The next Nintendo console, it should have tape format. We need to go back to tapes.
Yeah, tapes. Pop it in, let it load for 5 hours, and there you go. You're playing Mario.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
But no, actually, like, I like that you brought up the optical media, because a lot of people, I've actually seen a lot of people raging out about this. Like, whoa, I have all these Wii U games, but I'm not going to be able to play it on my Switch.
You own a Wii U. You don't need to play it on your Switch.
That's why I thought, I'm like, do people not hang on to your consoles? But I guess a lot of people don't. They just want to stay current, and they get rid of the old ones. And I'm like, I'm going to be playing my Wii U along with the Switch. Like, I still have a lot of life left. There's a lot of games I'm still playing on my Wii U.
I wonder if the Wii U controller will work on the Switch.
The gamepad?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That would be a crying shame, because I honestly think it would be awesome with the Switch, because they both have a screen, right?
Yeah, I think it would be awesome, but what I'm thinking here is we're seeing, like I mentioned that there was the camera and there was a microphone.
Yeah.
Those have been stripped out from what we can tell.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking, this kind of looks like it might be Nintendo, we'll say trimming the fat, as it were. Basically
removing the features nobody used.
Getting rid of all the small features as much as possible to lower the price. Because that was a big criticism of the Wii U.
Yeah,
it was overpriced compared to the other consoles. So I think Nintendo's trying to get this thing as low priced as possible so that they can be competitive.
Yeah.
And adding in because that networking, that was expensive tech to be streaming to the GameCube or the gamepad as legless as it was.
And you know what? It did work really well.
It worked very well.
I'm very finicky when it comes to input lag, and I didn't feel nothing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
You like when you could put the gamepad next to your TV that's directly connected to the system, and test and notice that it's responding quicker on the gamepad than the TV. That's actually incredible.
Yeah, well, that TV there was my old TV's pretty bad for lag, but even on my new TV, it was at the same time. It was happening at the same time. It was really good. But yeah, I think that would be an unneeded addition. That would raise the price even by a little bit. It would raise the price of the Switch, and I really think they're trying to keep that price down.
However, I would pay a premium for a quality system.
Oh yeah,
yeah, definitely. Most people, I don't know. I don't know. Then again, I don't know, actually. Yeah,
I don't know. It's tough because I feel like we're a different demographic than what is, we'll say, the one that actually supports a lot of like these consoles and stuff. So it's easy for me to say, I would like this. I would like this. Because maybe the vast majority of people don't want it. Because my taste can be very, very obscure and strange at times. So.
Oh, same here. I mean, I talked about a nonogram game last podcast.
Freaking Logic Pro 2, yeah.
Game's awesome.
Oh, I don't doubt that, but who's heard of Logic Pro 2? Like, when you first told me about that, I was like...
Music software?
Isn't that like an audio editing software?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know, I'll just buy anything, like, if it's priced right.
And maybe that's what they're doing. Because
Because I wouldn't have bought my PCFX if it was more than $5.
PCFX. Oh yeah, yeah. We'll be hearing more about that on the next episode.
Yeah.
This one here was, like I said, we're just doing Switch talk. Yeah. Next time we've got some more obscure and crazy things to talk about.
Yes, very obscure. But anyways, I don't know where I was going with that.
You were going somewhere.
I was going somewhere. Maybe it's time to leave. But one thing I'm really excited about, and we saw it on the advertisement, was, I brought up the whole entire Wii U controller thing, and it's probably not going to work. But what did work in the commercial was 2 Switches working together.
Yes.
The whole entire LAN aspect.
I don't know how that's going to, what that is.
I don't either, but I really hope they put LAN in there, because I miss the days where I can just get together with friends in real life and have a blast, order pizza, and just get loud and party on it. And I find last generation, and even this generation with the other modern consoles, they lose that because they all rely on this online service. And once that online service is gone, there's no multiplayer at all anymore.
And you just went into what I was talking about earlier about how it caters to us older, old school people.
Okay, now I get it. Yeah.
Because, I was watching the trailer and I'm going, these are highly improbable situations. I don't see people going, I'm going to play basketball. Now I'm going to stop playing basketball and play basketball. I just don't see that happening. It was such an improbable situation, right? But
I don't know. Maybe they just had to take a break, but they didn't want to.
Man,
I'm so tired from all this basketball, but I want to keep playing it.
There you go.
But break up the motion controls and get work out.
But that's exactly it. I was looking at this, and it kind of ties into what I was saying about their account system a little bit. But I'm wondering how much online there's going to be, because maybe I can talk a little bit about the marketing. I know you don't have a whole lot about it. I'll just touch on the marketing, and we'll come back into this whole LAN thing.
Okay.
Looking at the trailer, I found it to be actually, I thought it was an excellent trailer, and I'll tell you why. The marketing was so on point. They repeated the name. Yeah. Nintendo Switch. They were very clear about what it was. They start off right at the beginning. It's a gaming console. He picks it up, he walks away. The entire thing revolves around gaming at home, bringing the games with you, and playing with others, either through the local network or sharing controllers, because there's the improbable people up on the rooftop, and they're like, hey, yo, here, have a controller, and we're going to play together.
Hey, come over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't they just go to the apartment and knock on her door?
I know. Well, maybe they could be outside.
I don't want to be outside playing video games. People think I'm nerdy and they'll beat me up. Stuff me in a locker.
Yeah. Had that happen? I never had that happen to me. I was too fat. They couldn't get me in.
Yeah, same here, actually.
It's like, yeah, take that.
Maybe we should be going outside more then.
But anyways, it's not necessarily what you saw in the video. It's what message the video was delivering. The message was very clear. It's focused solely games. There was nothing else. There was no silly little features. Let's look at the advertisement for like the Wii U. They're like, oh, look, you can play golf. You had 2 people playing like some board game stuff. That's stuff that never came out for the Wii U. But
that's right.
The message was so all over the place. This was very concise. You're playing a game. You can bring it with you. You're playing with friends. That's
Done.
it.
And that's all I need to know. That was enough to get me excited. Actually.
Exactly. And you also look at the demographic. There was not one kid in the video. They're targeting young adults.
There were only squids and no kids. We finally have our answer.
There we go. But that's actually significant too, because that tells us who they're targeting. And that means that they've done their research on what that demographic wants. Hopefully. Yeah. So we might actually end up seeing more games, more experience, more online stuff like those people want. However, like I said, we're gonna bring it back here to the LAN thing. I don't know if that's wireless network or if it's, because I noticed they were in the basketball example, the switches were facing each other. I don't know if that was just done out of convenience or if they're using some terrible infrared.
I really doubt they would be using infrared.
Actually, yeah. After I said it, I was like, wait a minute, that's stupid.
That is extremely stupid. That is very extremely stupid.
But the DS actually has some similar things where it links up. But then again, you're not playing multiplayer in those cases. But there is some functionality with the 3DS that you actually have to have like line of sight. Or am I thinking DS?
I think you're thinking Game Boy Color.
Nope. No. I'm talking at least as late as the DS.
I don't remember any infrared on my DS. I've got a DS Lite though.
I'll have to take a look at my stuff again later, but
Because I'm pretty sure you could have two people on opposite sides of a mall, both in the picture chat, drawing images at each other. I'm not going to specify what kind of images, but...
Okay, I consider myself corrected, I guess. There was... I remember... okay, maybe I'm remembering wrong. I'm sorry. I remember there being some sort of line of sight thing, so... And I guess that's kind of thrown out the window anyways when we saw the people sitting around in a circle with the Splatoon little section.
Yeah, with everyone cheering them on because they're about to play Splatoon.
Well, before that.
I like the part when they like planned out their game plan.
Exactly, that's what I'm getting at.
Except you don't really need to because it's Splatoon and you're going to die and respawn.
Actually, that's another good point on marketing, though. They are catering to the esports crowd. Notice that they emphasized an esports type event.
I want to see Cloud9 play some Splatoon.
Cloud9 play some Splatoon. Cloud9. I'm a bit more of we'll say an Echo Fox guy, but all right.
Yeah, but imagine all the 360 no scopes you would get with those paint guns.
Yes.
All the walls would get painted every time. Like they would never miss the walls.
Well, wow! I didn't realize that Counter-Strike and Splatoon would make such a great crossover.
Yeah.
They both just spray stuff in random directions.
Pretty much.
No, we just suck at Counter-Strike. That's the problem there. But no, I liked that because I was like, Splatoon. I think that's one of the biggest things. I'm like, holy crap, Splatoon. Because they have to consider that this thing is a handheld. And it might not always have an internet connection.
Yeah.
So, are they going to include LAN features? Local play?
I really hope so. I really hope so. Like, even the Wii U has LAN features.
Yeah.
Remember the Black Ops 2?
Yeah, Black Ops 2 had a LAN thing. So, what I'm thinking, though, is because, we mentioned it before, we hate, we don't like DRM. We like owning stuff even after, the net's down or, servers go down. And...
Halo 5, you're not going to be able to play a co-op if the servers go down.
There you go, exactly. And that's what I was talking about with how it ties into the account system.
Yeah.
Because it's a handheld, I'm kind of hoping that they focus on local multiplayer. Imagine having, we're years down the road and we want to, play Splatoon, get together and play Splatoon.
Let's do some retro gaming. Let's pull out the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. We can't do that with the Wii U because it relies solely on the online servers.
Yeah.
But since we see that Splatoon is going to be coming to the Switch, if they have local play on there, you can actually because everything's all in the handheld, you could bring a bunch of TVs together, slap in your Switches, and have local multiplayer.
Or just bring your Switches together. You don't even need the TVs.
Well, I'm saying if you want to play on a TV, you can. We could have like an old school LAN party with the awesome. Switches. You could play on the TV. You could play in handheld.
I really miss the days of getting all the Xboxes together and playing Halo 1.
Well, yeah,
that was so much fun,
dude. Remember, you brought up Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
We were facing away. One person at the gamepad. One person was playing on the TV. We couldn't see the other person. There was no screen watching.
Exactly. It was amazing.
With the Switch, you can kind of do the same thing. Each one has their own Switch. They're all playing together. It's fantastic. I love that. So I'm really hoping that Nintendo, because people are always saying Nintendo needs to do more online.
No, they need to do no online.
I wouldn't say
not no online, but
they need to get their online account system in order.
Yeah.
And maybe have online multiplayer. Yeah, you can have the online multiplayer, but don't leave LAN behind. Because I feel like even PC it's losing that. PC, I can't get local play. We can't get LAN parties together or anything because
PCs are huge and I hate lugging them.
Well, there's DRM. Yeah, the PCs they are huge, but there's the DRM aspects as well.
If you go to someone's house and they don't have internet or something, which is unlikely these days, but let's say you do.
It does happen.
The internet goes out, you can't connect your Steam account, you can't get your games up. There you go. You can't play.
Exactly.
It sucks.
It's terrible. So I really feel like this, if they do, because it seems like that's what the message of their trailer was playing with people together. There was no LAN at that. There was no internet out in that basketball court.
Are you kidding me? It's like the basketball cafe.
Basketball cafes. Is that a thing in Korea?
Yes.
Basketball cafes. So yeah, I really hope that they do do his LAN thing. I'd love to play like a Call of Duty on LAN, or some sort of good first person shooter or something. That'd be really fun.
Nintendo might make one.
Yeah.
What if Nintendo like made Super Mario RPG, which stands for Rocket Propel Grenade?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
I'd be down with that. Actually, while we're talking about games, we did see one. Well, actually, we saw a few different games. We've pretty much already talked about them, but one of the I wouldn't say it's one of the first ones. You've mentioned it several times.
I don't even remember what it. Oh, Super Mario 64 2.
we are hereby dubbing it Super Mario 64 2. Do you have any opinion about what you saw? We saw very little of it, but from what you saw, what kind of Mario game does it look like it's going to be to you?
It's going to be Crash Bandicoot 4.
Crash Bandicoot 4, Mario's Revenge. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I think based on what we saw, it's way too early to be making any speculation.
Yeah.
But from the perspective, it does look a lot more like a Mario 64 styled behind Mario thing.
Yeah.
Because 3D World was kind of 3/4 view, a little over the top.
But that was so all four players could see what was going on.
Yeah. Well, exactly. But it's still an indication that there's that switch. But yeah, so it looks like that. It does look like that, and I'm really hoping that they go for that Mario 64 thing, because people have been saying that they've been wanting that for ages. If Nintendo's finally decided to listen and said, "Oh man, people really want something like Mario 64,"
yeah,
because,
let's make Mario 64, but with planets.
Oh, you mean when they were going to be making? Oh wait, okay, that was Galaxy, right?
Yeah, Galaxy.
I was gonna say that reminded me of the story of when they were making Star Fox Zero. Miyamoto was going to make everything where you just choose your level. It was going to be a lot more just like Mario, where you just go. And he got pushback from the fans and stuff saying, no, that's not Star Fox. Star Fox is branching paths based on performance within a mission and stuff like that. And he thought that it was detrimental to the enjoyment of the game to, you can't just go to a level and play it. He felt like each level should be a compartmentalized aspect, rather than tying all the levels together. And I think that's probably the same mentality that got us the Mario games we've gotten more recently, where things are much more just overworld, go to each individual level. So I'm wondering if, he's learned from that, when the fans push back on that, even though the game did pretty terribly.
Yeah, I didn't like it, to be honest.
I really liked it, but I definitely, it's not one of those things where like, I don't understand why people don't like this game. It's one of those things where I'm like, I liked it, but I totally understand why others didn't like it.
Because I remember sitting on the couch, on your couch, playing the game, and at one point I just turned it off. I just couldn't do it anymore. I was done with the game. It was so boring for me, anyways. However, that tower defense game that came with it was pretty good.
Oh, Project Guard. Actually, yeah, Project Guard was pretty good.
Yeah, that was awesome. I like that.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was a very neat take on it.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping that, they've learned that, the core mechanics, it's important to get those down. But there is a second layer of mechanics that tends to tie games together. And people tend to like these things that tie everything they do together. Just having, okay, go to this level. It's not as nice as like Mario 64. Having that big open world that you can kind of explore.
Well, even outside of the levels, there were things to do too. Is so cool.
Exactly. It was like your level select screen was actually also a level.
And you could die in it.
Yeah.
Or you could explore it and find things. It was so cool. Mario 64 is a masterpiece.
I agree. Mario 64 is, I would say, one of the greatest games of all time. It still holds up today.
And it was a launch title.
Yeah. It was fantastic. So I'm really hoping they learned and the new Mario game is like Mario 64.
That would be beautiful.
That would be absolutely wonderful.
Like, all you need is that overworld that you can explore. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go. That's basically it.
Yep.
The games are good. It's just they've been falling down on that. We'll say that little bit extra, those small details that really take, we'll say, a good game mechanically to like a good overall experience. I don't really think we got much to say about the other games. Like it's Zelda.
Like I'm pretty sure everyone knows about the new Zelda already, how it's open world and whatever.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty excited for, to be honest. Like it looks like the first Zelda game I would actually care about.
Yeah, when it comes out, we'll probably be talking about it. But right now, I don't see any point in speculating about it.
Okay.
We've already talked about Skyrim, how it's officially not coming, but probably is anyways.
Yeah.
Splatoon. We did see Splatoon and Mario Kart 8. Now, I'm bringing these up because I don't think they're just straight ports.
I hope not.
Because the Mario Kart 8 footage showed King Boo riding in a cart. He's not in Mario Kart 8. So we don't even know if this actually is Mario Kart 8. It looked like a track from Mario Kart 8. So I'm wondering, is it going to be like a new revamped version with more tracks and everything, included? Or is it going to be, I don't know, something new altogether that just happens to use tracks from Mario Kart 8? Splatoon, the characters had different hairstyles, which is also not a feature that's not present in the current game. So this kind of points to, are we going to get more full-featured ports, like maybe with expansions onto them? Or are we getting like brand new games in these series?
I would be content with just expansions, like add the stuff that we're missing from the previous games, like Splatoon and its land, for example.
That's actually how I feel.
Yeah.
I think it would actually be, I think that would be good because imagine this scenario. They take the games, they add these additional features in them. So basically they just do a straight port and then they add additional features. You can add those as DLC or additional in a patch for the Wii U. And there's the possibility that you can have crossplay. People with Switch playing with the Wii U fan base.
That would be neat, but I don't know if they would actually do that.
I don't know if they would, but I think it would be it would be a good thing. But at the same time, actually no, now that I think about it, because then that discourages people from making the switch over to the Switch. Did it again.
That would be the Switchblade that would stab Nintendo.
What? We're reaching a little bit with these puns. But yeah, so maybe I'm wrong with that one. I maybe it's wishful thinking on my part because I know I'm not going to be able to afford a Switch for a little while.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to be getting it at launch. But it's something I'm excited about.
Yeah. I just hope in the new Mario Kart, the game's playable. Oh my goodness, I hate Mario Kart 8 so much. I could blab on about it all day. But
maybe we'll talk about that in another episode.
It's like you're about to finish the race, and you're in first place, and then suddenly you're in last place.
You're pretty salty about those blue shells, aren't you?
Every time. Oh, it's the final race of the cup. I'm in first place. Oh, nope. That would have been too good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've pretty much said everything that there is to say about the Switch right now. We still have a lot of information that we need to wait for. Because Nintendo has basically said, okay, here's the trailer. Now you can wait like another month or two before we give you more information. And then everyone's like, give us more. Like, come on, you started this hype train.
But maybe the hype train, maybe they're like not giving us information to make us more excited to buy it at launch.
I don't think that's how hype works.
I don't know.
Because people's attention spans, they're going to start forgetting about it unless Nintendo keeps on with this.
That's true. But it is coming out in March.
It is coming out in March. March
not too
2017.
That's not too far away.
I'm very excited to see what happens with this. But anyways, I think we are pretty much done for today.
Okay.
Any final thoughts? Anything else you'd like to add?
The Nintendo Switch is video game home player for the Nintendo Entertainment Center. And you're going to be able to play Mario in the car, and Elf Lord.
Well, all right. Well, this has been the BluScreen podcast. Please send your complaints to jason@bluescreen.ca. And also, if you have any, questions for the show, any other contact information you might want, you can find at bluescreen.ca. That is blue, spelled BLUSCREEN. Derek has no information because he's been banned from everywhere because he's a little delinquent.
Shut up. I did not steal that kid's video.
You did what?
No, I didn't. That's why.
So you're being truthful, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm being truthful.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Anyways,
nobody accused me. I'm just trying to make myself look like the good guy.
I'm like, where did this come from?
I'm trying to make myself look like the good guy.
I didn't kill the guy. What guy? No one?
Yeah, nobody died. I didn't kill him.
That's how I know I didn't kill him.
Exactly.
He's still alive.
Yeah, I'm going to bed.
All right. So, yep, that's all for today. And we'll say happy speculating to everybody until we get more information. Until next time, I would like to ask you all to game on.
You said on. Switch on.
Switch off.
Don't peek. I'm in the shower.
Don't peek the op. In the shower.
Oh, yes.
All right, let's
I think it was Colonel Mustard.
Colonel Mustard?
Yeah, Colonel Mustard with the op in the shower.
Colonel Mustard with the op in the shower. Beautiful. Yes. Pingers!
Yes! That's my favorite word!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the BluScreen podcast for the 25th of October, 2016. My name is Jason, and today I am joined on this second special episode by the illustrious, the freaking idiot. Hi, Derek. No, what are we doing?
Yep. Because look at this, I'm like, that looks like a penis.
You're an idiot.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 2 of BluScreen Podcast. I am your co-host, Derek, opening for the star attraction, the Jason guy over there. Whoa!
I don't know if we keep that in outtakes or we go with that. Okay, we'll keep it.
Okay.
This is the podcast episode 25. No.
You're ruining it!
I think you did that well before I did.
You're ruining it!
How are you doing today, Derek?
My nipples are connected by my hairs.
Your nipples are connected by your hairs? Okay, I'm not even going to try to pretend to know what that means, but I'm going to... I don't even know where to go from that. Like, screw it.
I'm sorry. Let's just start this over.
Getting hot garbage, man. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the BluScreen podcast for the 25th of October, 2016. For this...
We're all dead!
I wish we were.